the distance that connects you to a voice you don't trust in the middle of the night. You followed the chain of links, and now you find yourself alone with me. This story starts in a cell. It's a story of how the West's colonial nightmare of Islam came to life. It's a vision made flesh.
The title of the play is The Believers Are But Brothers, which is a line from the Quran, and it tells the story, really, of 2 or 3 young men who get caught up in, if you like, extremist political activity. 2 Muslims from the UK who get involved in jihadi groups, and a white boy from the US who gets involved with the alt-right. It also tells the story of my attempts to communicate with young Muslims that's partially my heritage. I'm partially of Middle East and partially of English heritage. And it tells my story of trying to make social media contact with young men who claim to have got involved with groups like that.
Hundreds of miles to the north, Marwan sits, taller and thinner, but with that same screen front hunch and stomach pit disgust. He's about to rewatch the same video of the same girl being bombed for the 1000th time. Marwan's worked constantly since leaving university. A fucking law degree, 24, single and educated, and he takes the same bus to the same crumbling school to take the same shit from the same kids every day. The girl on the video is different. She's silent over the screams of the rescue workers and the whirring of the regime helicopter blades.
As a political artist, I'm really interested in the formal qualities of art, which can sound like a bit of a dry thing to say, but as theatre makers, we are concerned with the art form, which is about bringing people together in spaces. And this is a topic which is, I think, a lot of it is about big questions of masculinity, identity, and also how technology is changing who we are.
He finds a magazine called The Bir. The Bir makes him dizzy. Inside, he finds these articles that speak to a feeling that he's been carrying around for months. That every new outrage, every nightclub attacked in Paris, every gay bar attacked in Orlando is part of a plan. A plan that will bring the world that torments and humiliates Muslims, that torments and humiliates him, to its knees.
About a third of the play happens through a live WhatsApp group, which runs concurrently with the rest of the action, and you get to sort of see the worlds that these young men fall into. There's interactive elements there and stuff. And it felt, for me, I think as a theatre maker, I really want to make work that gives people a space, theatrically, to think about things that feel really topical and important intellectually. And I think really, what I'm very proud of about this show is that me and my collaborators, I think, have built something which people sometimes just think about intellectually, but they leave our show feeling it in the gut as something that is really, really pressing, and they sort of need to get their hands on.
Either you're with us, or you are with the terrorists. Either you're with us, or you are with the terrorists.
The way in which sometimes extremist politics gets a toehold in kind of discourse is it's actually just at the fringes of mainstream discourse, especially with like the far right and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time on Twitter, Facebook, everyday websites, but on the slightly weirder fringes of it. And yeah, I spent about 6 months hanging out on there, doing various bits of pieces. The show was also informed by conversations with a bunch of academics, journalists, people who've kind of followed this stuff in much more finely grained detail than I as a playwright have done.
In ancient times, even the explosive growth of an Islam or a Christianity took half a millennium to reach its full height, but on the screen things are different. Souls get stripped from bodies, so spirits move as spirits, ideas move as ideas, and we accelerate. So all around the world, this generation of resentment-fueled young men can kneel before the altar of these screens and baptize themselves in their soft blue light.
Every day, there's something in the news that talks to this question of like, how did this young man get himself into this place where he's done this terrible thing?
This cell is the perfect place for Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi to network and plan. Every disempowered and alienated Sunni extremist who will help him build the Islamic State is in that jail with him. Baghdadi believes in an ancient prophecy that all Muslims will face off against all non-Muslims in a final battle in a sleepy Syrian village called The Bir.